Hello folks and welcome back to Ammo Can Stoves. I'd like to take a little bit of time today to talk about one of our mods we've been recommending and concerning tile and adding mass and making our stoves more efficient. Um, what we're going to try to do is make a heat shield out of tile. In an earlier video we showed how we've added a 16 gauge piece of steel to protect our sidewalls and help divert the fuel, the smoke and flame forward to help increase our temps for our cooking area and give us a secondary burn back and then up the pipe, so we don't have the flames going straight up the pipe. And that can also be done with tile. This idea came from a bunch of guys up in New England that were wanting to burn coal in their stoves, and so they started lining them with tile and telling us about it and having good effect with it. Of course, making a baffle or baffling a stove and adding mass is nothing new, but a great idea. We never incorporated it into our original design of our stove because we're trying to keep the stoves around $100. And that's getting harder and harder to do these days. Anyway, let's get on with it. Here's some just ceramic tile that I picked up at Lowe's on the way here today. When I was coming into the office, I just swung into Lowe's and looked around the tile department and said, hey, can you cut this? And they cut it for me for free. So it's a very inexpensive, viable option to augment your stove. How it simply works is it fits on the sidewalls and can the back and the top. The fire grate was designed so there's enough room between the sidewalls of the stove and the fire grate that you can incorporate a 1/4 inch piece of tile. And if the box was on, this is what it would look like on the inside. So just use your imagination a little bit. Your sidewalls go here, and that was just a piece of tile we had cut in half. And here was an 8x8 that I had cut down, I think, to right about 6 inches or 5 5/8, I think. But you'll just measure on your box. You want it to go from side to side, though, inside the box, because you don't want it to have any play in it, because it's just going to sit right on top of the side pieces, and you don't want it moving back and forth inside the stove, or like moving this way and this piece go back and then it fall. If it's against the side walls of the stove, it can't move back and forth. It'll be solid. Okay, so there you have it. We've accomplished with a couple pieces of tile a heat baffle and shield. So we're protecting our sidewalls. We're adding mass. We're moving the non-combusted smoke and fuel forward, so it mixes with the oxygen coming in from the front of the stove in a turbulent area here. So we have a secondary burn in this area. So we're maximizing all the BTUs out of the fuel that we can get. So we're getting a quicker temp and a quicker boil and quicker cooking up top, because we've got more heat up front and a more efficient use of our fuel. And it comes on back and then up the pipe. So we're putting less emissions out the pipe and less heat. We're keeping it and using it inside our box for higher BTUs. So that's it. This can be built any way you want. You can just use 6-inch square tiles. This 6-inch tile, 6-inch tile. You can put a 6-inch tile in the back, and then you'll want to custom fit a piece for the top again, because you want it to be the width of the box. You don't want it to have any play in it, so it'll stay. All right. So that's the tile. It is a pretty neat mod. With this and proper care, your stove will last indefinitely. That's one of the reasons a lot of the guys were using the tile, because they're having hotter fires longer. A lot of the folks use these for emergencies. They use them for just camping a few times a year. And in those scenarios, the standard canvas is perfect. It's perfect for that. But if you're going to be doing a lot more and a lot hotter fires, something like this would be something to think about, either the metal or the tile. I use tile in my Teton, and I use one of these new baffles in my personal Blue Ridge. I like the metal because it's all one unit. It takes up less room. It's a little less weight. I can still fit all the gear inside of the unit, and they're neat. They're neat. Thanks for the ideas. Keep them coming in. Like to see more pictures of your mods. so we can post them up on our website to see how you're using the stoves. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your support.